let's move on to another movie that I wasn't even sure if I was going to do another movie review this week besides The Irishman. But then at my local movie theater, I saw they got the movie Dark Waters. This is a movie starring Mark Ruffalo, Anne Hathaway, Tim Robbins. There we go. Always messing up. Tim Robbins, Shawshank Redemption, one of my favorite movies. So I saw the trailer for this a little while ago, and I hadn't seen any other advertisements or at least or as much as I would think. But anyway, so Dark Waters is another movie based on a true story. So we got back-to-back based on real-life stories here. And Mark Ruffalo plays a attorney named Robert Billet, a big time, like he works for a company. He works for his law firm, basically defends big time companies. His wife is played by Anne Hathaway, Sarah Billet, and one day he's at his law firm having a meeting with the bigwigs and all that stuff when a farmer comes in saying that he's a friend of his grandmother's, and he's saying, like, I need a lawyer, and he's like, I defend big companies. I'm not the type of lawyer you come to for your problem. And he's like, like, whatever, I don't care. And this farmer says that his land is being poisoned by some kind of chemicals. At first, Bill is skeptical of this. He thinks this is just some guy that's just, that is crazy, doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. But then as he starts to dig deeper and deeper, he starts to realize that something is going on this farmer's land and possibly even expands beyond this farm. So, yes, this is, like I said, this is based on a true story. So let's talk about Mark Ruffalo. This movie, I was thrown off a little bit at first because this movie kind of gets things right off the bat, right? Usually in a movie like this, we maybe spend the first 10 minutes getting to know our main character, Rob Billet, played by Mark Ruffalo. But no, not. I mean, it just kind of gets right into it. I think we're only a few minutes in before we're introduced to his character, and the farmer comes in to tell him, like, what's going on in my land. I need you to come. The guy playing the farmer, he's got the thickest friggin' accent. There was a few times in the movie where I was having trouble understanding what he was saying, but after a while, you tune into his accent, and it's like, oh, okay, I'm down. We're good here. We got it. Yeah, so Mark, so I was bothered at first because, like I said, we got into this character pretty quickly, and but then we get right into the investigation. That's where things kind of get interesting. Once again, it starts at first on a land. This farmer's like, all his cows are dying. His cows, he said, were all diseased. So, all this stuff, he's had to put some of them down. He's lost basically all of his cows. And, once at first, Ruffalo was just like, like, well, what happened? He said there was, a report in this. But he starts to dig deeper and deeper, and because at first he's just doing it as a favor to help this guy because his grandma knows him, no big deal. But this happens to happens in a town that Mark used to live in when he was younger, so he starts to take a personal interest in this. Not Mark, Bill, Rob. I'm sorry, Mark Ruffalo, Rob Billet. There we go. And as the movie goes on, and this is based on a true story, and so I don't know how to describe this, but as the movie goes on, things get terrifying. They really do. Because, like I said, it happened in the real world. Rob starts to, as he digs deeper and deeper, he finds out that these chemicals that are affecting the farmland expand far outside the farm to a point where, like, I don't want to spoil it. I mean, you might have heard about this in the news, so you may know more about it. But, this film educated the hell out of me, and it terrified me to the scale that this problem is going on. So it's definitely reminiscent of Aaron Brockovich, the Julia Roberts film, where with those chemicals, there was like it was. Big company making chemicals. They know the chemicals are toxic. They know the chemicals are giving people diseases, but they're trying to cover up, and one person is trying to stand up for that. And Rob Billet, Mark Ruffalo's performance is really good in this film. I could tell that there was some passion behind this performance more than the usual stuff, like more than he put behind the Hulk, which, don't get me wrong, I love Mark Ruffalo as a Hulk. A lot of people, oh, God, I'm blanking. God damn it. The guy who played the Hulk before Mark Ruffalo, I can't remember his name right now. I feel like an idiot. But but like I think Mark Ruffalo made a great Hulk. I think he's a really good damn actor too. He was in that movie Spotlight a few years ago. And I think he's proven himself to be a grade A actor. And like I said, I could tell there's passion in his performance because Mark Ruffalo in real life has spoken out many times about political and social issues, environmental issues, stuff like that. He's not afraid to hold back. So I'm sure this movie was very important to him. That not only he get the word out about what this company has done, and at the same time trying to champion Rob Billett, the real life lawyer who got involved in this case. And he does try, and his performance does make Rob look like this guy that was ignorant of what was kind of going on in the world at first, and then this investigation opens up his eyes. And that's the one thing, like I said, this movie gets terrifying because it's not only the real life information that this movie provides, it's Rob going on throughout the course of this movie, the trials and tribulations he's going through to get to the bottom of this, to help the people of this town, to help anybody that this company may have poisoned with their products. It blew my mind. The Irishman is one thing, like the mobsters, all that stuff, that doesn't affect me. But the things that's revealed in this movie, has affected a lot of people. Could have, affected me without my knowing. So it is really kind of a wide-spreading story, and I don't know how else to describe it. People, it's like, damn. Yeah, I mean, I just, The Irishman I watched the other night, so I've had time to. I had time to cool down and think about that. But this movie I just saw the other hour ago, and it left me shook. Anne Hathaway is also, like I said, in the movie. She plays Sarah Billett, Rob's wife. She's worried about a lot of stuff. Rob is taking so much time into this investigation, this lawsuit, and, it's really affecting their family life. She's trying to stand behind him. There's definitely times where she gets frustrated with him. It's all the time he's dedicated to this investigation and lawsuit, and how it's taking the time away from, their marriage and from their boys, their children. And, there's definitely the moments of frustration where, she's supporting him, but at the same time, she's got to be like, hey, look what's going on. So, it's not all like, it's not just Mark dealing with, this huge thing where he's trying to help people, but it's also at the same time where it's like, he needs to sometimes take a step back and be like, hey, you got a family, you got to take care of it. But in the end, Sarah, has his back, even if sometimes she needs to give him a little crack on the back to remind him, hey, what's going on? And I like that. It's like not only, because you don't want her to be this bland wife character that's like, I support my husband 100% no matter what. There's times where she's human. Times saying, Rob, we're still married. We still got a marriage going. We've got kids. We've got, we got all this going on. Just I like that. It's not, but, like I said, it's not that the character isn't supportive. It's the character's human. The character's, you got her own, anxieties and all that stuff. Ooh, gotta take a quick drink. Yeah. Yeah, so this movie takes over, like the story itself takes over the place of like over, just like with Aaron Brockovich, many years. It wasn't something that happened in a week and was done then. No, it's really just, holy crap, this guy, this Rob Billett, he was going through this for so long, doing all that he can. Really makes you respect the real life Rob Billett so much. So beyond that, cinematography was good. Some good, nice, cool shots of the people in the town, all this kind of stuff. Great acting from everyone all around. I don't think there was any particularly weak performances. I think the only one that might be weak is like there are people from real life, the people who are actually involved in this whole thing that make appearances in this movies as characters or extras, and you don't know until the end where they're rolling credits and they're saying like, oh, these are the people. I'm like, oh crap, they were in the movie, like so. But they're used correctly, so it's it was surprising as all hell, ladies and gentlemen. Dark Waters. Would I recommend it or would I not recommend it? I'm going to give Dark Waters a recommendation. Like I said, this movie, it really terrified me, the information that was released about it, and how far spanning, it really is. All these things Rob Billett went through, how far this company, which by the way, the company releasing the chemicals is the DuPont company, which I was aware of DuPont. I've seen your logo on products before and stuff like that. So now next time I see the DuPont logo on something, I'm probably not going to buy it. Because holy crap. And that's one thing. Once again, it's real. That's what makes this movie terrifying. Not terrifying in the sense of a horror film, but in the reality of it. So yeah, this movie scared the crap out of me. It should also be categorized as a horror film. Holy crap. But anyway, yes, I am going to recommend Dark Waters. Go check it out. It's out in theaters right now. Damn. Anyway. Hey everybody, hope you enjoyed that clip. If you want to see a full episode, I live stream every Thursday night on Facebook right after I see the movie. Or you can tune in to the Revenge Online Radio Network every Friday morning at 9 a.m. If you enjoyed the show, please consider contributing to the Patreon. Patreon.com/PO Vincent.